Did you see these videos of Marcelo Gomes, the 18-year-old who was detained by ICE in Massachusetts, talk about who he is and what he experienced inside the detention center? Listen.
These people have families, man. Like, they have kids to go home to. And there's, like, genuine criminals out there that people aren't giving attention to. They're getting good people that don't deserve to be here. I was one of the translators in there because I speak English, Portuguese, and Spanish. And they would come in there with their papers and they would say, can you translate this for me? Because I don't want to sign something and get deported. And I would have to watch people cry, like people with kids, like 10-month-old babies. No one deserves to be down there. And I heard a lot of people talk bad about my dad, but if you want to talk bad about my dad, you have to talk bad about me because he raised me. Everything I got was from my dad. He's a good person. He never did anything wrong. He's a nice guy. I didn't specifically know about my immigration status because I came here when I was 6 years old. And when I got here, the woman said, she was like, do you know why you're arrested? And I said, no, I don't. She said, because you overstayed your visa. You came here in 2013, and in 2015, you overstayed. And I told her, I was like, ma'am, I was 7 years old. Like, I don't know nothing about that stuff.
First of all, I am so happy Marcelo is out and he is back with his family. If you hadn't heard the story, Marcelo was detained by ICE agents while he was on his way to volleyball practice with his friends. ICE stopped the vehicle because they were actually looking for Marcelo's father, which is why in the video he kept saying, I don't want my father to receive this kind of hate. Now, ICE claims that they were looking for Marcelo's father because of his reckless driving. But records show that the father only had a driving infraction dropped by a judge in 2023 and paid a $100 fine. And the father does not have any other pending criminal charges on his record. So already ICE seems to be lying in order to try and save face when it comes to detaining an 18-year-old kid who was on his way to volleyball practice. Since the news broke about what happened to Marcelo, the entire school community went out to support him, demanding justice for Marcelo. But don't get it wrong, this was only possible because of the community outcry. Marcelo is a good kid, and you could hear from the way he speaks, from everything he does, from the way he helps out other people. Inside the facility, he was looking out for others, helping others translate, trying to help other people with their cases. And when he was detained, he was worried about his family and how they felt, his friends and letting them down when it came to band or volleyball, worried about school and missing his girlfriend's graduation. Undocumented people are good, kind, hardworking people, and Marcelo exemplifies that. And like he mentioned, a lot of people who are brought here as kids don't know how it all works. Because he's a kid, he was hanging out with his friends, he's going to school, he has dreams of the future. He doesn't really understand up until that moment when he was picked up of how much being undocumented does affect your life. Honestly, this happens more frequently than you think. A lot of kids don't know. Now, for Marcelo moving forward, he was released on a $2,000 bail, and apparently he does plan on applying for asylum. And his lawyers hope that while he's going through the asylum process, he'll be able to get a work permit and some paperwork so he can go to college and work while he goes through the process. Again, I'm really glad he's out, and I'm so thankful for the community who came out to support him. Like I always said, during the Trump administration, it's going to come down to community, to those closest to you and what you do for each other. And as always, please consider supporting me on here so I can continue bringing you stories like these.